Hi there. In today's video, we're diving into something that might surprise you with its quiet power. The calendar in your home. Yes, that simple sheet of paper or wall fixture you barely think about. It might just be playing a much bigger role than you imagined. A calendar isn't just for tracking birthdays or counting down to the weekend. In Feng Shui, it's considered a conduit of energy, a station that channels the flow of time and qi, life force. It represents movement, rhythm, and cycles. Where you place it, what it looks like, and how it fits into your space can all influence the flow of luck, focus, and even prosperity in your daily life. This isn't just spiritual theory. Modern science backs it up. Research in the field of environmental psychology shows that the objects we surround ourselves with, especially ones we see every day, have a deep impact on our behavior, habits, and emotional state. That includes how we spend money, how we make decisions, and how we feel about our time and future. Looking through a spiritual lens adds even more depth. In Buddhism, time is seen as impermanent. Clinging to it, or ignoring its passing, often leads to restlessness. A calendar, then, becomes a reminder to live mindfully within each cycle. In Christian belief, every moment is seen as carrying divine purpose. Choosing where and how to place your calendar isn't just a decor decision. It's a way of aligning your space with the rhythm of grace and intention. So, how do you make sure your calendar is supporting your goals and not holding you back? That's exactly what we're exploring today. Where to place it, what images and colors to choose, what to avoid, and how to turn it from a passive object into an active source of good energy. Stick around till the end. We're covering practical tips and insights that could make a meaningful difference in your space and your life. And if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need a little energetic boost in their home. Let's get started. 3 places you should never put a calendar. 1. In the bedroom. Have you ever walked into your bedroom and felt like your mind just couldn't settle down, even though you were tired? Nothing dramatic, just this nagging sense that your brain was still ticking. One small reason could be something you've probably never thought twice about. A calendar hanging in the room. The bedroom is meant to be your quiet zone. It's where your body rests, where your mind slows down, where you recover from the day. In Feng Shui, it's considered a space full of yin energy. Calm, still, peaceful. That's the kind of energy you need for a good night's sleep. But a calendar, even though it's helpful in many parts of the house, doesn't really belong here. It carries a different kind of energy, one that's tied to motion, tracking, measuring. That constant feeling of time moving forward doesn't mix well with the kind of peace we're trying to create in a bedroom. And here's something interesting. Your brain picks up on this, even when you don't realize it. Neuroscience studies show that things like clocks and calendars can trigger stress responses in the brain. Just seeing them, yes, even when you're not fully paying attention, can remind your mind that time is ticking. That subtle sense of pressure or urgency, it can quietly build up and affect your sleep quality without you even noticing. There's also a spiritual angle. In Hindu beliefs, time, called kala, is more than just a schedule. It's seen as a powerful, divine force. It's not something to bring into a place meant for meditation, sleep, or inner peace. Whether or not you follow those beliefs, the idea makes a lot of sense. Your sleeping space should feel timeless, not like a countdown. So what if you do like having a calendar in the bedroom for convenience? That's okay. Just be mindful about how it's placed. Go with something small. Don't hang it right across from your bed, where it stares you down every night. Better yet, keep it in a drawer, or a place that's easy to access, but out of sight when you're winding down. If you've got one up now, try removing it for a week. Notice how your sleep feels. Sometimes it's these little shifts that make the biggest difference in how rested and recharged you wake up in the morning. 2. Facing the main door or windows. Let's talk about where you hang your calendar. Specifically, if it's facing your front door or a window, you might not think twice about it. But in Feng Shui, that placement could be quietly working against you. In traditional Feng Shui, the front door is called the mouth of Qi. Basically, it's where energy flows into your home. That includes luck, wealth, opportunities, even good relationships. It's the main entry point, not just for people, but for all the positive energy you want to welcome in. Now, imagine a calendar hanging directly opposite that entrance. What message does that send? Whether you realize it or not, it can feel like you're counting down your blessings. The second they arrive, the energy comes in, and the calendar, symbolizing time constantly moving, gives it a little push right back out. This isn't just an old superstition either. In more modern, science-based design thinking, like mindful or intentional home design, there's a similar idea. Designers often advise not to place items that suggest action, movement, or deadlines, like clocks or calendars, in spots where your eyes land as soon as you enter the house. Why? Because it creates pressure. You walk in the door, and immediately your brain is triggered to think about what's next, what's due, what's running out. Not exactly the relaxing welcome home energy most of us are hoping for after a long day. There's also a beautiful perspective. In many Native American traditions, the front door isn't just a doorway, it's a sacred space. It's where the spirit of the home meets the outside world, and it's where ancestral energy is believed to pass through. That space is meant to be open, light, and uncluttered. It's about respect, and about creating room for good things to come in freely. So what can you do? If you've already got a calendar near your door, and it feels like the only convenient spot, you don't have to toss it. Just shift it slightly to the side. The goal is to avoid a direct line. No straight shot from the front door to the calendar. A small adjustment can make a real difference, softening that energetic push-pull. Sometimes, all it takes is moving one item a few inches to invite a little more ease and flow into your space. Worth a try, right? 3. Near the sink or trash. Now, here's another spot to be careful with. Placing a calendar near the sink or trash bin. It might seem harmless, or even practical, but from a feng shui and psychological point of view, it can quietly chip away at the energy you're trying to protect. In your home, let's break it down a bit. In feng shui, every object carries an element. A calendar belongs to the metal element, symbolizing structure, time, precision. The sink, on the other hand, is water, and trash, that's associated with heavy, stagnant, or even polluted energy. Now, metal naturally feeds water in the 5-element cycle, but when they're placed too close together, especially in a cluttered or dirty area, what ends up happening is the energy of time, and everything that comes with it, progress, finances, opportunities, gets washed away. You're basically setting up a situation where wealth or good timing flows out faster than you can hold on to it. From a behavioral psychology angle, spaces near the trash can or a messy sink tend to be zones of disposal. You're tossing things out, wiping things clean, scrubbing away what's no longer useful. And that's fine, it's part of life. But when you place a symbol of time, like a calendar in that environment, it subtly sends the message that time, too, is something you're trying to discard. It creates a sense of loss or lack, rather than stability. Religious and cultural beliefs often share a similar caution. In many traditions, the act of washing or throwing something out is symbolic. It's about clearing out bad energy, starting fresh. That's a powerful thing. But imagine placing a calendar right by the drain. It gives the impression that your time, your days, your moments are being washed down with yesterday's scraps. Doesn't exactly scream abundance, right? If you can, keep calendars away from these areas entirely. If that's not possible, there are still small ways to improve the energy. Keep the trash bin clean, always covered, and try not to let clutter build up near the sink. A tidy, respectful setup can help shift the energy from loss to flow, which is really what we all want at the end of the day. 1. Living room. The living room is more than just a place to relax or entertain guests. It's the heart of the home. It reflects how your household connects with the outside world, how energy flows through your family, and how opportunity is welcomed into your life. That's why hanging a calendar here, when done thoughtfully, can do more than help you keep track of dates. It can actually set the tone for abundance and harmony in your home. In Feng Shui, the living room is where energy gathers and circulates. It's a space of movement, conversation, and shared experience. When you place a calendar in this room, especially in a spot with good natural light, and where it's easily visible, you're making a subtle but powerful choice. You're inviting your family to move through time together, to stay organized, and to build a shared rhythm. That kind of unity naturally encourages smarter decisions around finances, routines, and life goals. Think of it as the starting point for a household mindset about growth and well-being. But placement matters. Ideally, the calendar should go on a central wall. That's easy to see, around eye level, and preferably where sunlight touches during the day. Why natural light? Because it energizes the space and keeps the flow of yang energy strong, which is essential for activity, prosperity, and forward motion. And here's where visual elements come in. If your calendar includes images, and most do, choose ones that reflect the kind of energy you want more of. Flowing waterfalls, lush mountains, blooming flowers, or wide green meadows all work beautifully. These images suggest growth, movement with purpose, and nature's rhythm. They align with the calendar's natural symbolism of time passing and things unfolding. Color plays a part too. Shades like gold or warm yellow resonate with the metal element of the calendar, supporting structure and order. Soft greens tie to wood, which represents growth and fresh beginnings. A bit of gentle red can introduce fire, just enough to add passion or motivation, without overwhelming the calm. You don't need to overthink it, but a well-chosen image with these tones can lift the energy in a subtle but lasting way. There's also something deeper, almost spiritual, about placing a calendar in your living room. In many traditions, the act of acknowledging time, marking days, welcoming a new month, is seen as a quiet ritual. It's like offering a nod to the universe. We're here, we're aware, we're moving forward with intention. A calendar becomes more than a tool. It becomes a symbol of presence and purpose. So next time you hang one up, don't just pick any spot. Make it meaningful. Choose a wall that feels alive. Choose images that inspire, and let it be a reminder, not just of what's coming up, but of the life your household is actively creating. 2. Kitchen. The kitchen doesn't always get credit for being a powerful energy spot, but in Feng Shui, it's actually one of the most important rooms in the house. Why? Because it holds the fire, and with it, the flow of money and well-being. That's why placing a calendar in the kitchen, especially near the dining area, can be more than just convenient. It can quietly support good habits and steady fortune. Think about it. The kitchen is where meals are prepared, where routines take shape, where families often begin or end their day together. When you place a calendar nearby, You're creating a gentle anchor for time, reminding everyone of structure, rhythm, and shared moments. It's a subtle way of helping the household stay on track, and that stability has ripple effects. When we eat at regular times, we tend to feel better, physically and emotionally, and when our emotions are more balanced, financial decisions and day-to-day planning often follow suit. It's all connected. From a Feng Shui perspective, though, placement is key. You want to avoid hanging the calendar too close to the stove or any direct heat source. Not only can the heat physically damage the calendar over time, but symbolically, fire can burn away the energy of time, taking your financial luck with it. Keep a little distance. Instead, try placing it near the dining table or wherever the family tends to gather for meals. That spot carries more earth energy, grounding and nurturing, which helps reinforce calm routines and shared purpose. There's also a lovely layer of meaning when you look at this through a spiritual lens. In many Catholic households, it's common to hang a monthly calendar that includes saints' days and feast days. It's not just about keeping track. It's a quiet reminder that every meal is more than nutrition. It's grace. It's gratitude. It's being present with those around you. A calendar in the kitchen, in this sense, can become part of the ritual. A simple way to bring more awareness and meaning into daily life. When choosing a calendar for your kitchen, go with something compact and gentle in design. Soft, warm colors tend to work best. Nothing too loud or distracting. This isn't the place for bold reds or sharp graphics. You want something that blends into the space, while still being easy to check at a glance. The goal is to support peace and flow, not create pressure or urgency. A well-placed calendar in the kitchen might not seem like much, but over time, it can shape how your home feels, how your days move, and how connected everyone stays. Sometimes, small choices carry quiet power. 3. Home office or work corner. If you work from home, whether you're freelancing, managing your own business, or handling investments, your workspace isn't just a desk. It's the engine room of your financial future. That's why something as simple as a calendar, when placed with intention, can actually help sharpen your focus, boost your output, and bring your goals closer to reality. Let's start with the basics. When you have a calendar clearly visible in your work area, it acts like a gentle but firm time anchor. It keeps your days from blending together and helps you stay aware of what matters right now, what's coming next, and what deserves your attention. In Feng Shui, this is part of working with metal energy, structure, clarity, and momentum. For productivity, it's about reducing procrastination and building better daily rhythms. Together, these ideas create a workspace that doesn't just look organized, it feels energized. Think of the calendar as more than a tool. It's a visual cue that reminds you, you're building something here. Whether that's a creative project, a business launch, or steady investment growth, your time has value. When the calendar is in your line of sight, it's easier to track progress and hold yourself accountable. You're not just reacting to what's urgent, you're staying connected to what's important. Here's a simple setup that works well. Place the calendar near eye level, on a wall or board that's easy to glance at from your main working spot. Natural light nearby is a bonus. It lifts the space and helps sustain energy throughout the day. Then, build around it. Add a goal board or monthly intentions sheet, where you jot down the 2 to 3 things that matter most this month. Next to it, consider keeping a gratitude log or daily wins journal. These little touches create a personal hub of motivation, high energy, high focus, and aligned with both practical goals and emotional well-being. This blend of Feng Shui and productivity isn't about being rigid. It's about designing your space so it quietly supports you. It's easier to get things done when your environment is working with you, not against you. And don't worry about making it picture perfect. What matters is that it feels good to you. Some people prefer a minimalist calendar with plenty of white space. Others like visuals, quotes, soft patterns, a splash of color. Go with what keeps you calm but engaged. This isn't a corporate cubicle. It's your personal command center. Small shifts can change how you show up every day. And over time, showing up consistently is exactly how ideas become income. 1. Don't keep old calendars. Holding on to an old calendar might seem harmless, maybe even sentimental, but in Feng Shui, it carries a quiet weight. An outdated calendar doesn't just take up space. It holds on to energy that's already run its course. Keeping it around is like keeping a door slightly open to the past, making it harder for fresh opportunities and new momentum to enter your life. Time moves forward, and our environment needs to reflect that. When you keep last year's calendar hanging on the wall, it can subtly create a sense of being stuck. Whether you notice it or not, it's a visual reminder of what's already passed. That can lead to sluggish energy in your space. Less motivation, more hesitation, and a slower pace when it comes to change or growth. That's why the act of replacing a calendar should be more than just pulling one down and pinning another up. In Feng Shui, and in many personal growth practices, it's helpful to treat it like a small ritual. Before tossing the old calendar, take a moment, fold it neatly, thank it for the time it helped you track, the moments it held, and the memories it witnessed. Then, let it go with care. Think of it as gently closing a chapter. Some people like to pair this with a short gratitude meditation, or even a simple spoken intention. Thank you for the time that has passed. I'm ready for what's ahead. It doesn't have to be elaborate. The point is to be intentional. That way, you're not just clearing clutter, you're clearing space for something new to begin. And once that new calendar goes up, you'll feel the shift. A fresh year, a fresh layout, a blank page. It's a quiet reminder that time is still moving, and so are you. 2. Best calendar images and colors. Choosing the right calendar isn't just about picking one that fits your wall, or has big enough boxes to jot down birthdays. If you're looking to bring better energy, especially financial luck, into your home or workspace, the images and colors on your calendar matter more than you might think. They're not just decoration. They shape your mood, your focus, and even your subconscious beliefs about abundance. Let's start with what science says. Several studies have shown that regularly seeing images of nature, trees, water, flowers, can reduce cortisol levels, the hormone tied to stress. Lower stress doesn't just mean feeling better, it also means you're more productive, more focused, and more emotionally balanced. In other words, the right visuals in your daily environment can actually support better decisions, clearer thinking, and a healthier outlook. Key ingredients for attracting and managing wealth. So, what kind of images work best on a calendar? If you're thinking in terms of feng shui and mindset, forests and trees are a great choice. They represent steady growth, deep roots, and resilience. When you look at a peaceful forest scene, you're subtly reminded that building something meaningful takes time, and that growth, even when slow, is powerful. This kind of energy supports long-term financial planning, investment strategies, and patience in your efforts. Waterfalls, on the other hand, bring a different kind of momentum. In feng shui, flowing water, especially when shown as clean, abundant, and moving toward the viewer, is a powerful symbol of money and resources flowing in. A waterfall image can help activate that feeling of financial energy constantly moving and replenishing itself. Just be sure the water isn't stagnant or shown as receding. that can have the opposite effect. Flowers, especially those in bloom, symbolize new beginnings and opportunities. They suggest that good things are on the horizon. Bright, healthy flowers in soft, welcoming settings can inspire optimism and openness to change, two things that often lead to positive shifts in both personal and financial life. Now, let's talk about what to avoid. Images of wild animals, especially predators like lions or tigers, can bring an aggressive, chaotic energy into your space. They might look majestic, but they don't align well with the calm, focused flow needed for financial stability. The same goes for weapons or scenes of conflict. Even if they're artistic, they can stir subconscious stress or a sense of tension. And dark, gloomy scenes, like night landscapes or stormy skies, tend to dampen energy, leaving you feeling stuck or unmotivated. Color plays a subtle but powerful role in shaping the energy of your environment. In Feng Shui, each color is linked to an element, and the right choice can help guide your mindset and emotional flow throughout the day. Warm yellow or gold tones, for instance, are associated with the metal element. They promote clarity, structure, and a sense of order, qualities that support smart financial decisions and good organization. Light greens bring in the wood element, symbolizing fresh starts, creative thinking, and slow but steady growth. If you want to add a little spark, soft red can introduce a gentle fire energy. It's energizing without being overwhelming, encouraging motivation and forward movement. On the other hand, colors like dark gray, black, or heavy brown tend to carry a heavier, slower vibration. When used on a calendar, they can unintentionally make time feel stagnant or burdensome, weighing down the sense of progress you want to cultivate. So when you're choosing a calendar, it's not just about what looks nice, it's about what feels right, and what quietly pushes you in the direction you want to go. 3. How to hang a calendar without damaging energy flow. How you hang your calendar might seem like a small detail, but in Feng Shui, it's one of those little things that carries big meaning. The method and position of the calendar affect how energy, especially financial energy, flows in your space. Done right, it supports clarity, confidence, and movement. Done carelessly, it can unintentionally create leaks in your chi, the energy field that affects everything from focus to fortune. One common mistake is hammering a nail directly into the wall to hang a calendar. While it might feel like a quick fix, creating a hole in the wall, especially for something that symbolizes time, can represent an energetic leak. It's like poking a small hole in a balloon. Subtle, but over time, it deflates the energy. In Feng Shui terms, this can be seen as a place where wealth, motivation, or opportunity slowly escapes. Instead, go for gentler methods. Adhesive wall hooks, hanging frames, or cloth or wooden calendar holders are not only more flexible, but they help maintain the integrity of your space. They also make it easier to switch calendars at the end of the year, keeping the ritual clean and smooth. If the design fits, hanging by a cloth strap or ribbon can even add a soft, natural feel that blends nicely with both traditional and modern decor. Placement is just as important as the method. Hang your calendar at eye level, so you can see it easily, without straining or looking down. A solid, level position reflects stability and direction in your daily life. If it's hung crookedly or swings loosely, it can give off a sense of uncertainty or chaos. Exactly the kind of vibe you don't want when you're trying to stay on top of plans and finances. Avoid hanging calendars too low. In Feng Shui symbolism, something that sits too close to the ground, especially something representing time, can signal that your financial progress is being held down. You want your goals and the energy around them to rise, not stay stuck. If you're paying attention to interior design, There's a nice bonus tip. Try to match the hook or holder to your room's palette. Soft, neutral tones usually work best. White, beige, light wood, or brushed metal. Depending on your space. It's a small touch, but it helps the calendar feel like it belongs, rather than looking like an afterthought. In the end, how you hang your calendar reflects how you manage time and energy in your life. A secure, intentional setup doesn't just look better, it feels better. And that feeling, it sets the tone for how you show up every day. A calendar might seem like just another item on the wall, something you glance at to check dates, or count down to the weekend. But in reality, it holds far more power than we often realize. In Feng Shui, a calendar is more than a practical tool. It's a subtle yet meaningful conduit of energy, a quiet guide that shapes the flow of time, order, and opportunity within your space. There's a teaching from the Buddha that says, "The trouble is, you think you have time." It's a gentle but powerful reminder that time is not guaranteed, and how we use it matters deeply. When we take charge of our time, we're not just organizing days, we're reshaping our path. In that act of intention, of choosing where and how time is represented in our space, we begin to reclaim our momentum and realign with the life we want to live. So here's a simple but important question. Have you looked at your calendar lately? Not just looked, but really thought about where it is, what it shows, and how it's influencing your energy every day? Is it helping to activate your fortune, your flow, your goals? Or could it be unintentionally slowing you down? Sometimes, it only takes one small shift. A new image, a better spot on the wall, a fresh calendar altogether, to create a ripple effect, a clearer mind, a steadier rhythm, a little more confidence in how you're moving through your days. If this made you pause and think, take a moment now to act. Check your calendar, make that adjustment, give your space and your future a quiet upgrade. And if you found this helpful or eye-opening, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need this little boost too. You never know. One small change could be the start of something much bigger.